There's a sentence I hear from owners almost every week, and that is, I just want to run past you first. That sounds like courtesy. Well, it isn't. It's a decision coming back to you, one thing that didn't need to. And if you're hearing that sentence regularly, you have a structural problem, not a people problem. That's where I want to start today. Your team isn't new. Most of them have been with you for years. They know the business, they're capable, and yet decisions keep coming back to you. The pricing call, the client question, the judgment call on a job, every one of those is a moment where someone could have made a decision and didn't. Not because they couldn't, but because nobody had told them they were allowed to. That's the distinction that matters. The team isn't incapable. The decision ownership just hasn't been clearly defined. Those are the very different problems. And most owners are trying to solve the second problem as if it were the first. Let me give you a specific example. A team member calls and asks, can we discount this? Whether, whatever this thing is, can we discount it? It sounds like a pricing question, but actually it isn't. Nobody asking that question is confused about the math. They know what a 5% discount means on that job. They're asking because pricing authority isn't clearly defined. They don't know what they're allowed to say yes to, so they check every single time. Not because they're unsure of the numbers, because they're unsure of their authority. And that's the decision ownership gap. And it doesn't live in pricing alone. It lives in delivery. It lives in client management, in resource allocation. It lives in every area where the team can see what needs to happen, but checks with you before actually acting on it. I worked with an owner recently, a manufacturing business, about 30 staff. Solid team, good tenure, people who knew the operation well. He described himself as a good delegator. I give him the work, he said, I let them get on with it. So I asked him to do one thing, write down every decision that came back to him in the previous 2 weeks. He came back with 14 pricing approvals, client issue resolutions, resource allocation calls. One was a decision about which courier company to use for an urgent delivery from his most experienced ops person. 12 years in the business, didn't make the call though, checked first. The business owner looked at the list for a moment. He said, these aren't decisions I should be making. No, they're not. But they came to him because nobody had been clearly told that they were allowed to make the decisions for them. That's a decision system problem. In the 7 systems of a self-managing business, the decision system is about one thing. Who can decide what and without asking? In most owner-led businesses, the decision system is implicit. The rules exist, they're just unwritten. And when the rules are unwritten, people default to asking the owner every time. Not because they lack confidence, because the system doesn't make it safe for them to decide independently. The owner then becomes the decision maker by default, not by design. And there's a significant difference. A business with a clear decision system has defined decision rights. Your team knows what they can approve, what they can resolve, what they can say no to without checking. And that's not just more efficient. It's what lets you step back. Here's what it looks like, I guess, when the decision system is working. 1, decisions get made at the level closest to the work. Pricing calls get handled by the people doing the quoting. Client issues get resolved by the people actually managing that relationship. And resource allocation happens without a phone call to you. That means you stop being the answer. You become the person who reviews patterns and exceptions. Not every call, right? Not every question. Not every, just wanted to run past you first. That shift doesn't require a different team. It requires a different system. So here's the question I want to leave you with. How many decisions in your business have a clear owner and who isn't, of course, you? Not informal, not assumed, clearly defined and known by the people making them. If you're not sure, well, that's your answer. And it's a structural problem, which is good because it means it can be fixed. If this sounds familiar, it's worth a proper look at where the gaps are and where they sit. There are links below. Grab some time in my diary. Let's get it sorted out in your business. Have a fantastic week. Cheers.